Welcome to my channel. Today we are not really reviewing. It's a very quick review of my first impression of this very cheap budget lens, the Neewer 25mm f1.8 lens designed for APS-C camera. So I use it on my A6300. The reason I bought this lens is that I was bored. I wanted to test something new. And I found this lens very cheap. Obviously, newer lens, newer maker or Yuno, and these brands they produce really nice budget bokeh lens, manual lens that are super cheap. So I got one of these. I got a 25mm because I like the 35mm full frame look. So this one 25 is about 38mm on a full frame equivalent, so that's why I got this one. There are also like a 35mm f1.2 by 7 Artisan or something. I don't remember which one, but there are a lot of 35mm lenses similar to this one, or 50mm. I chose 25mm because I like to be a little bit wider. 50 is if I a 35mm APS-C lens is gonna behave like a 50mm more or less on full frame. It's too tight for me. I don't like it. So I got this one. f1.8 is pretty bright, but it's not amazingly bright. It's in full frame term, it's probably about f2 to f2.8, so it's between. It's slightly better than my Tamron 28. Tamron 28 to 75, that lens, slightly better than that one. So before I bought this, I also watched a lot of reviews. Some of the very common characteristics, including the full metal build. It's very sturdy, actually makes it a little bit heavier than I imagined. If it was a plastic, it would be like so light, but no, it's not. It is actually pretty hefty in your hand. Full metal build, and the barrel kind of goes forward like this, becomes thinner as it goes forward. So it looks really weird. I don't like this look. I prefer if it made it just parallel, like just straight. I prefer that kind of look. It's probably because the lens itself doesn't require that much glass, so they made it small to save material, but then they have to mount it on the E-mount, which is bigger, so there's this kind of this slope. The aperture ring is declicked and it's very smooth. I would say it's rather smooth, but when you turn the rings, the focus ring or the aperture ring, you can actually hear the turning sound, the noise it makes. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound good. It sounds like you are grinding some gear, or like turning the gear in a machinery, and you can almost feel the oil. Focusing is very easy with this lens. I mean, it feels very good. Mechanical focus ring, it's much better than focus by wire, so you can always get very accurate focus in my experience these 2 days. Yeah, especially with the focus peaking, it helps a lot with finding the focus. It's really, focusing is not an issue. So I've been shooting some random photos. This one is really small because the lens is so tiny. You can actually fit it into a pocket, literally into your pocket. So that's something really nice about this lens. So I can actually bring my A6300 anywhere I want. Image quality wise, it is really sharp in the center, really sharp, very good quality. But at the edge, especially on the right side of the image, it has some soft, kind of decentered maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But in some of my images, I see that on the right side, the image is soft, even though it's parallel. It's like the same plane. They should be, if the part of image in the center or on the left is sharp, then on the right it should be sharp. But in some photos it is not. So I'm worried that this lens is decentered, and maybe I should do a more thorough test against a wall or something. It's just like the Canon 10-22 lens I had. It has this soft, you can see almost the circular in the center of the frame. There's a circle that is sharp, and the outside circle is soft. Other than that, it's pretty nice, and it has very small minimum focusing distance. You get super up close, even more closer than the Tamron can get, so it's really nice. Using this lens makes me appreciate autofocus more. I tested this lens a little bit more, like trying to find some interesting angle. Like my city, I've been living here for more than 3 years in this town. I pretty much know everything, and I don't really see anything interesting, so I need to train myself to find things that are interesting from the everyday things. Like right now there's a coronavirus, so we're not supposed, it's better to not travel that far, so I'm gonna just stay around the Venice area and try to find something interesting out of the ordinary scenarios. So that's a challenge, and it's gonna be very fun. Using manual focus is definitely helping me to find more inspiration to take a different perspective into photography and shoot something different. I'm looking forward to shoot more stuff with this lens as well as with other lens and cameras. And I haven't shot many stuff for a long time, and I should get back to it. Find the inspiration, find the motivation. It's very important. I need to keep doing this because it's fun. Alright, that is the review, I guess. It's not really a review. Anyway, that's the lens. Look at this lens. Oh, beautiful lens. Wow, it's so tiny.